where victory lives, with Nicole Elizabeth Squires, only on LA Talk Radio.
Well, welcome to the Recovery Switch tonight. We thank you for joining us, and we have an amazing guest tonight. His name is EarJ Espy. He's a bass player. He has played with some of the best, but he'll tell you more about it. Hey, and Chuck are my co-hosts. We have another night ahead of us.
Yes, we do. We have a big one. We have Big Earl in the house. All right.
I know.
Hello, everybody.
Our topic tonight is musicians, old or new. Who do you think? What is going on in the music business as far as the musicians and what's going on? Do you think the old musicians are the ones who are still maintaining the quality, or do you think there's some great new musicians out there? Call in today and tonight actually and let us know what you think. Please call in and let us know. So EarJ, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Earl.
The pleasure's mine.
Great. So I was reading a little bit about you, and you're a bassist. I mean, I've heard that you're extremely good bassist.
Yes.
And you play with the Silvers. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I played with the Silvers, and I came out here from Seattle, Washington in like 1973.
Okay.
Years before I was born.
Me too.
All right. Okay.
And I got a chance to hook up with them. I always admired their music, and they're such a talented family and great people. And I got a chance to hook up with them and play with them, and did a little touring with them, and it was great. Their music, even to this day, I've spoken recently with Leon Silvers, the head family member, and he's got some new stuff that should be coming out soon.
Oh, great.
I might be a part of that too. So
All right.
Great.
to it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, they're a very, very talented family.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you had a record deal yourself.
I did. I got with a group called Formula 5, and we signed with 20th Century Records in, I think that was 76.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, years before I was born. I can't hardly remember.
Telling on yourself, huh?
Yeah, we had a good record, good in the disco era, which was that was a time when musicians had to kind of adjust from we had basically been playing R&B and and then disco came in, so we had to get on the disco train and get that boom boom boom.
Yes,
Right. Oh,
Yes, and
hey, I love some disco.
Oh yeah, it worked. I still listen to it sometimes now, but I don't wear the bell bottoms.
Oh yeah, you're right. Me neither. Yeah, we're not doing that.
No, not doing that.
And them shoes.
Right. Remember the platforms?
The
Oh, wow.
platform.
Yeah.
Those shoes were-
We really dating ourselves, okay?
It's all right though. We did it. We were there.
Yeah.
we
What
were.
was the
We
name of
were.
your group?
The group was Formula 5. Richard Kaysen, Billy Ray Charles, Leon Cottrell, myself, and Miss Alfreda James.
Oh, okay.
Who's a fantastic vocalist in the Long Beach area. I think she's still around doing things.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Wow. So after that happened, what next? What next for you?
Well, prior to that I did not mention is I did some road work with Al Wilson. Remember the Show and Tell song? Show and Tell. You guys remember
Yeah.
Show and
Show
Tell?
and
Just a game.
tell.
Hey, yeah.
That's right.
Now that
Just
was
a game.
that was fun, and that was the management agency that also managed the Fifth Dimension.
Yes.
And
remember
it was kind of an upper echelon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was pretty good. Made a lot of money.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a great sound back then.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they were
I was a
good.
big Fifth Dimension fan.
Oh yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah, man.
They were opening doors way back then.
Yeah.
They sure were.
Yeah, they were unique.
Yeah.
And, they crossed the board.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
R&B, pop, the whole thing. And Al Wilson was doing the same. He had a few good hits, and we went our separate ways. But I when I with the Formula 5 group, we worked at the Pied Piper Club on Crenshaw Boulevard for probably about 10 years, 5 nights a week, and that was an amazing time. We had a
The Pied Piper.
I know it sounds.
You know,
it sounds familiar.
I grew up in the hood over there, but I'm just trying to think. I've been up and down Crenshaw.
Yeah, I think
whereabouts?
it was where is that? Close to
I know the Total
48.
Experience.
Yeah, well, it was like 2 doors from the Total Experience.
Okay.
And Freddie Jett's Pied Piper. I think Esther Phillips actually recorded a live album there.
Oh, okay.
And on Monday nights, we had a celebrity night, and it was hosted by Gertrude Gibson, and she was the society columnist for the Sentinel newspaper, and she had the power of the pen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she had the power of the pen, and whoever she asked to come,
Right.
they were there.
Oh, wow.
From Richard Pryor to Muhammad Ali to Lena Horne,
Wow.
Minnie Riperton, Stevie Wonder.
She had some power for
she had
real.
the power of the pen.
That pen was real.
Yeah, she could anybody, and
That's great.
yeah, Don King.
Don King.
Don King, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
And they all, well, she wrote that column, and you know, when you have that power of the pen, you can affect a person's career.
Right.
Isn't that
Yeah.
something?
And she was a great person to work for, and we worked for her. So with that being said, I had an opportunity to play with all of those people. You know,
Oh,
at one time
wow.
or another. As a matter of fact, once Richard Pryor held his birthday party there,
Oh, okay.
and it was hilarious. It was
I know it's
it
funny
was-
as heck.
Yeah, it was. But he got upstaged with jokes by Muhammad Ali.
Oh, really? Oh,
Muhammad Ali came in and had the place rolling with his jokes. So
all right.
how about that?
I love that.
He is funny.
Yeah.
He was very
Yeah,
funny.
he's-
His
he's the
timing was
greatest.
great.
Yeah,
He's the greatest.
Over. Wow.
yeah, that was quite a dynamic time. A lot of things going on back then. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, with that being said, there were a lot of venues for us local. We consider ourselves the local musicians to play.
Right.
A lot of different places you could play here one day. Next day there were a lot of gigs, and even a lot of gigs on the road. But all of that's changed now.
Oh, okay.
Most of the clubs are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have noticed that.
Yeah.
Because I remember when my daughter and I used to do different things around town. You remember the Sunset Room was available, the White
Absolutely.
Lotus was available, and all these different things, and that's all gone. It's like, where
Yeah.
do you play now?
Yeah, it's
The Roxy is so different now. The different areas, I don't know where it is a different feel.
well, they've got something going on now that was absurd for our time. It's called pay to play. Now the young musicians nowadays, they'll get a group together, and the club owners want you to pay them to play there,
Wow.
and all of them band together. And there's most of the young musicians have to do it in order to get some kind of exposure. I guess it's good for the club owner to guarantee
Right.
that he makes some money.
Right.
Right.
It's hard for
Right.
the musicians.
Yeah,
Sex.
we were just talking about that. Remember, our one of our guests that we had on was saying that, the clubs don't pay anymore.
Yeah.
No.
You can't make any money.
You can.
At the club.
Yeah, I think Lamar did
Yeah.
last week. He
Yeah.
said, "Yeah, you don't."
Oh my goodness.
And so there's a company that's putting different people to work, but they're doing like bar mitzvahs and weddings
Right.
and that type of thing because there is no work in clubs anymore.
Pay to play. Wow.
We're going in there getting the money that we were getting in the 70s. And, it's not working out.
Right,
It's-
right.
No.
Yeah. And,
Not in 2015. You get what you got in the 70s.
the people they just as soon have a DJ.
Yeah. And that's the it kind of leads into what we want to talk about now is musicians and what they have to go through between the old, the new, and what the young generation is even a concept of music. So it's like we had the old school musicians and seeing them grind and go on tour and do different things like that. You'll come see the big bands from the Duke Ellingtons to the Benny Goodmans, and you keep on going, and you know, even down to Barry White had a full band orchestra, and all these different musicians had places.
Right.
So between, you know, you are a musician, you're out there as a bassist. So name some of the old greats that you influenced you, first of all.
Well, I listen to every genre of music.
I kind of do too. I really do.
And I loved it all. But the availability of, when I first started getting involved in it, I mean, Duke Ellington was still around.
Yes. Yes.
Miles Davis, all of that. You got a chance to. I mean, I got a chance to see all of these people.
Wow.
That's great.
Play and my good buddy. We were talking the other day, and he actually, a bass player friend of mine, well, he's practically my brother, Welton Guide. He got an opportunity to play with Cab Calloway.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's great.
And
That's big.
That's big.
Oh, wow.
That is.
we were talking about that the other day, but all of those things, you know, blended into what we have now, and I can say I was influenced strongly by Miles Davis. And even though I don't really play straight ahead jazz, I appreciate it, and I've swung at it a couple of times.
Okay.
Not that good. I have other friends that are, you know, that play straight ahead that are well versed in it, but I can say that Miles Davis and I listen to all that, John Coltrane and all that that stuff.
Well, my favorite Miles Davis CD is Love Songs. I just love that, all the love songs. He just did that. That CD can just take me somewhere. But I get
That's a
it.
good CD.
You know, I tend to be a person that very eclectic. I mean, I like from rock to I love blues. I love jazz. I really am. I'm very eclectic, and you know, what I'm noticing is that I don't know. I for me, I guess I feel like the older school musicians had more of a grunge or a grind to their music, more of a feeling or passion. I'm not saying all new musicians don't have it, but there was something in the grit of their music. There was some kind of passion behind it. It's not a technical, it's not digital, you know, and everything now is digital, and I get it. And I know we have the warmth of the analog back in the day. But you know, I just find that even with the passion and the grit, everything is about, I guess the young generation is so versed in business. They're supposed to be. I'm not saying they're not.
Right.
They're supposed to be, because there was a lot of mistakes that were made by the old musicians, and they were taken. Just like you said, you had your deal, and we talked in the past. You know, a deal comes and goes very fast back in the day, depending on the regime. This day and age, you have to be well versed in business.
You do.
But is the passion there? As the old school musicians, the ones, to me, are still represents passion. It represents grit. Represents, knowledge to the 10th power. That's me. So what do you think about that?
Well, I agree with that. Those guys were paving the way.
Yeah.
And they were original in what they did. They didn't have access to the things that the young musicians have access to now. Like earlier we talked about the internet.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I mean, like I said, my buddies and I, we talk about this all the time. I mean, the older guys were originating the things that we copy and take it to another level. I'm not knocking the young musicians because they're phenomenal because of what they have access to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
some
The
of these
YouTube.
So much
say
more.
YouTube. You can
Right.
go on YouTube and actually take a if you decided you wanted to start playing the bass or the guitar or drums or
Right.
whatever, you could go right on YouTube and start and pick up. Or a lot of times you might want to break down a certain lick or something. You can go on YouTube, and they have also, other than YouTube, they have devices that can slow things down, and you can just pick out the notes
That's
one by
amazing.
one.
Yeah.
See, we didn't have that stuff.
No.
But that's
no.
my point, though.
Yeah.
My point is, everything is so accessible to the young musicians. When you see somebody practice and dig in or come on and create out of their spirit this incredible music or lick or chord change and their fingers, it's just like, I don't know. I just, everything, I know everybody evolved. We all are replicas. We're not supposed to reinvent the wheel. We're just supposed to make the wheel better. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it.
Right.
But my opinion is, I just love the old school musicians because I know the grind.
Yeah.
I know the work that went into it. I know the creation, and the new musicians tend to be. They're okay. They are more advanced in the YouTube and
Right.
all this stuff like that.
Technology.
But do you understand what I'm saying about the grit?
I do.
The grit and the passion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about you can be technical, because somebody can be technical and then go in the studio and say, now I know how to play a piano and slice that in and slow that down and put that in and do that, and there's a track. That's not how it used to be.
No.
You
No,
had to
no,
play
no.
that whole track.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
did.
what I'm saying? And you have to play that to the 10th power.
Case in point, back in the day in the recording studio,
Yeah.
there was no punch that in. There
Nope.
was no. We had to play the entire song, and you could get down to the last note and make a mistake, and everybody in the band. They
How
wanna
did you
take-
do
yeah,
that,
they wanna-
you know?
or
Yeah.
could take you outside, and tighten you up a little bit, because we had to just go in. And studio time, it was expensive.
Right.
Yeah, it is now.
You meant literally tighten you up for real.
Literally.
and most of the songs back then were a lot longer than some of the songs today.
Well, yeah, it's just the fact that you had to be good enough to make it through the whole song. Nowadays, you can just say, "I'll
Yes.
just punch this in." You can punch in. I recently had a session with some young rap guys, and I played a bass figure,
Right.
and he said, "Okay, stop." I said, "We got that. We'll loop that. Now we're gonna go to the bridge." I'm like, "Wow, okay, hey." But we had
Really?
to, and I'm telling you, I can remember being in sessions where the tension was high, and everybody, you better not mess up.
Right.
We got to get
right.
out of here, and you're costing me money. The producer, it could get hairy.
Right.
I could
Can you
imagine.
imagine that?
Oh,
I could imagine that,
Oh,
because
that was real. Yeah.
yeah, because even vocalists, they had to sing that whole song. They couldn't punch them in.
That's right.
Sing that song.
That's
right.
true.
And that analog and the tape, remember the tape?
Yep.
And everything.
All of that.
All that. So there was no splicing in.
No, when you hear those old Ella Fitzgerald and people, like when you hear that stuff, they were right there singing with the band.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they really were.
They were. That's what made them like a cut above. Now,
Yes.
now there's people now today with talent. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but not like. I mean, you had to be able to do it. You could get
Yeah.
the same. You could get that same thing you heard on the record. You could get it live. A lot of people now that they live, they have recordings, and remember the Milli Vanilli and all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a call. Excuse
Okay,
me.
hold
Let's
on.
see who this is. Hello there. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Thank you for calling Recovery Switch.
Yeah. Is this Chuck? No.
Yeah, this is Chuck speaking.
Who's this?
Chuck, this is Ricky.
Oh,
Hey,
hi,
what's
Ricky.
How you
Hey,
doing?
Rick.
Didn't recognize you, babe.
What's happening, Rick?
Yeah.
It didn't sound like you, man.
No.
Didn't at all.
So, totally different.
Recognize your voice.
How you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm good, man. I just wanted to tell you that you're talking to one of my best buddies right there.
That's right.
All right.
That's my man.
Yeah.
He's
Earl's
amazing.
cool. Hey, we love Earl. He's great, man.
He's telling us his story, and it's amazing, man. We're talking about, the musicians, old and new. What is our opinion? My opinion, of course, I think old musicians has something that is being lost in the new musicians. So,
Right.
that's what we're talking about. But I mean, he's amazing. Thank you.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah, he lied about something though. He said that he never had bell bottoms on, man. He didn't.
Wait a minute.
I got them on right now, man. I was hoping they wouldn't look.
Yeah, man, can you
go,
see?
Rick.
Can you see under the table over there, Rick? I couldn't believe you walked in with those bell bottoms. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God, really?
I knew you were gonna clown me, Ricky. I knew it. Hey, but I was.
But I wanted to say something about his character. Earl is one of my best friends.
Yes.
I can count him on on one hand. Chuck, you're on one of my hands too. He's one of my best friends as well.
Oh, thank you.
But I quickly just wanted to say, when I was down and out with a problem with my foot, this guy lives in L.A. and he was willing to come down and help me out.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's cool.
Real friends.
Because we old school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what friends do, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know who your friends are.
Absolutely. I was telling them about your sister. They didn't know that you had a very talented sister that I've been in a couple of groups with. And she's and in any venture that I get into, I try to drag her into it because she's well, like Rick, she's got a lot of integrity and faithful and loyal and a good worker.
Oh,
Wow.
That's great.
So you keeping things from us, huh, Rick?
What's that?
You keeping things from us?
No, no.
You got to
No,
get.
hey, you guys' show is great. I watch it every Sunday. You guys
Hey.
you guys have a great show.
We appreciate it too. We really do.
We really do, Ricky. I
Thank
mean,
you.
thank you for calling and
thank
supporting us, because you have been a supporter. I mean, you're one of our very faithful viewers
From
and
day one.
from day one, and I thank you for that.
Yeah, we do.
I'm gonna come drop by and see you, man, when I get done.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, you're breaking up, Ricky.
Hello?
Here, you gotta let him go.
Yeah.
So that was Ricky, as a friend of Chuck and Earl. He's an amazing man. I really
Yeah.
is. He really is.
Yes.
And he's worked in different aspects of the entertainment business himself. So I praise God for his call.
Yeah.
But getting back to the subject at hand is I just I'm not trying to dwell on it, but okay, let's put a scenario together.
Okay.
You have an analog environment, okay?
Right.
And we have to record a session. You put the new musicians, the young new musicians in there,
Mm-hmm.
but the old musicians in there, and record the show and record that song. Let's see what's gonna come out.
Well, it's interesting. One of the things that I've experienced that the younger guys, if you're in the studio with them and you're working with them, they're pretty respectful.
Yeah.
They see
Okay.
that you've been around. They know what to glean. They like I play with some young guys now, and they call me pops and all kinds of stuff. And
course.
that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But sometimes I feel awkward. I say, I got kids older than you guys.
Right.
But
Right.
they want me around, because I bring the old school playing that it makes the music work,
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that gel that pulls it together.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they're so accustomed to analog. They're so
Right.
accustomed to and for me,
Digital,
digital and all that kind of feeling is so cold to me.
Yeah.
It has a cold feel.
Yeah, it does. You have to, you got to mix them together to get anything. I know a lot of producers, you mix that analog and digital sound together,
Right.
which creates it's pretty good to mix them. Kids now, well, we're spoiled by the clarity of digital, and when you hear all analog, unless it's
Right.
jazz,
Right.
it kind of it's not quite there.
Right.
But it is warmer, though.
It's a lot warmer.
It's a lot
That's
warmer.
why you got to mix them together Right. All digital, like you said, it sounds brittle and harsh
Right.
and soulless.
Were you ever around the Brothers Johnsons back in the
No.
day? No.
Never met him.
I never met him.
Never
Okay.
met him, and which is a surprise. I knew everyone around them, but I never got a chance to. But I had a lot of respect for them. They did a lot, and I think the bass player recently died, Louis
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a very talented bass
Yeah.
player.
So let me ask you a question. Who do you think in the young generation could hold up?
You mean?
Again, yeah, with the old musicians and in a session. Tell me who you think is out there.
Oh, there's a lot of good young players.
Really?
Oh yeah, bass,
I'd love to know who they
keyboard,
are.
Yeah. A lot of these guys, they gospel musicians.
Oh,
are
well, yeah.
Really talented.
Yeah, well,
They're
that's
really-
yeah.
They're really making kicking up a lot of dust, and they do a lot of playing.
But then most musicians come out of the church. Most.
Yeah, most
A lot of them.
Yeah.
a lot of them did.
Now some of the greats, most of the greats have came out through.
Singers especially.
Yeah, singers and you go back in time, you from Little Richard or most of the people came up in church. So some of the blues, everything kind of
Right.
comes out of that powerful emotional feeling to me.
Right.
So I have to agree because there are some incredible gospel musicians. I mean, like
absolutely.
ridiculous. You just, especially when they play that organ, man. Some of them organists, I'm like, wow.
Oh yeah. You can like,
Wow.
once again you can go on YouTube and see these guys.
Yeah.
Phenomenal play. I have another good buddy bass player, Andrew Goucher. He's just released his CD. I want to see if
didn't
you
know
guys need
that.
to get him on here and talk with him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I
got
know
a great
Goucher.
CD. Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
a great CD that he just released, and I think the name of the CD is "We Don't Need No Bass." He said because in church, when he first got out there, they had organ bass. They said we don't need no bass guitar in here, but that's changed now. And
Look at that.
he's got a phenomenal group of young musicians that play with him, and they're out of the church, and they're phenomenal.
Oh, wow,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He's got a great.
He is
CD.
extremely
Yeah,
good.
You guys got to get him in here.
Well, we'll have to do that. Yes.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
and Donald,
Great.
the saxophone
Yeah,
player.
Donald Hayes.
Yeah,
Donald
Donald's
Hayes.
good.
those guys
I
are
love
great.
his CD, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
heard Donald's CD.
Oh,
I'm
Donald made a
gonna have
CD
to
a few
check it
years
out.
back,
Yeah.
and it
Great.
was really good. But I didn't know he had made a CD. So
It's just maybe been a month
Right.
that he released it, maybe so. It's a great CD.
Oh,
And
wow.
He's a great player.
wow,
and
wow,
great
wow.
person, good friend.
That's cool.
Wow. So so some of the musicians that you're out there, like I know Asbarella Spalding is
Oh, my
extremely
goodness.
good. Oh my
Very
gosh,
talented.
she led that big bass in her.
Amazing.
Oh gosh, that
Yeah.
big
Sticks-
bass.
Yeah, she's good.
She's very
Yeah.
good.
Very
And
good.
I know a young lady who actually went to the same high school as my daughter. They all went to Hollywood High Performing Arts School, and she's around 31, somewhere around there. And her name, she goes as Lady Sticks, but her name is Ebony. And this little girl, when I said she could play drums,
Tear
she
'em
be
up.
spinning them, spinning them things and playing. And she has built a whole show.
Oh, she has. Really?
Show around her. She has the DJs. She plays with the DJs, and she's incredible. So there are some that learned, and
Yeah.
I'm sure Berkeley School of Music is bringing out some good ones too. I just I guess I am old school to the point that I do believe in the sound and the technicality of things. I think I look more into technicality. For myself, I raised my kids in eclectic and I try to teach them the music aspect of it, so that they know. Even though my daughter's a singer, and she will be able to sing from Patty to something else, whatever is out now. I wanted her to have that foundation, or my son, all of them have that type of foundation. My daughter, Tanisha, She can tell you anything in old school. She's
She
an
sure can.
she's an encyclopedia.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
she's-
girl, excuse me, that girl right there, she is.
She's an old soul in a young
Oh
body.
my gosh, she knows everything about the history of music.
Yeah.
She knows
does.
more than me. I'm not gonna lie.
She's a singer.
She does.
No, she's not the
No.
singer. Sharon's the singer,
Yeah,
but
she's
she's just. I think she should teach history of music.
Yeah,
She's that good.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, she knows who they are, what they sang, when they sang it, who's good, and she may even know the new one, the people. But you know,
sure.
yeah, but that's
Oh,
that's
you know
it.
that. She's
Yeah,
young.
yeah, she's young, but you know, I just wanted to get your opinion, because in this day and time, I really don't know who is out there in the young field.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. I'm detached. I work actually with a young man. Did I send you that link to
Oh.
the concert? I work with a young guitarist, vocalist, songwriter, actor, photographer,
Wow.
Sheldon Butler.
Oh, okay.
He's a very talented upcoming artist, and he writes his own material, and we have a group consisting of Sheldon on guitar and acoustic guitar and vocals, and myself on bass, EarJ Espy.
That's it. Drop it.
And there is
Yeah, I got it.
Earl
You gotta-
JSB.
you gotta
Gotta plug it.
commercial in there. Ahmad Dubose Dawson on percussion, and a box called the cajon, where it's like he's the drummer. It's a thing that you sit on and you beat it, and it sounds like it does the
Wow.
job of a drum.
Really?
Drums. Yeah, he's very good at it.
Okay.
And Mr. Christopher Wilson on keyboards, and he's a very talented little group. And these guys are, like I said, considerably younger than I am, but we have a good time.
So what kind of
That's
music do
good.
you got to do?
That's a good question.
Okay.
That's Sheldon's music. I'll let you hear it. That's the best. I can
But I mean, to people listening, what
just
describe?
look him up on YouTube. Sheldon Butler, Botler.
Butler.
And his music is, I guess, is kind of R&B, folk, country. It's his music.
Right, right.
And it's enjoyable. And
Sheldon Bachler, you said?
Butler.
Butler.
Like Butler
Yeah.
with a O.
Okay.
Yeah.
Butler.
Butler.
Yeah,
And
because that's good to know, because we want to be able to support. Like I always say, people in the music business need to support one another.
Absolutely.
We need to help each other, because
True.
the people with the money is really shutting out. You know, the one daughter that I told you that has the history. She is she had a show a spot called Cozy's, and she would do a jam session every Tuesdays,
Yeah.
and that was great until Cozy shut down.
Sure.
Yep.
And but you know, no one has really found a great location, unless it's maybe down in LA, but nothing out this way or in that people have jam sessions anymore, that you can, you know, tune up your music. You know, people that were new, one good thing we used to do, you know, you let people coming from out of state come in that is not accustomed to the LA scene, get to see what is going on, what the top singers are doing out there, and then try and tune yourself and get yourself right, because it's a difference. And back where you're from, you're the best. But when you come in into a pool of
That's right.
thousands of great people, it's a whole nother ball game.
When you're caught with the big fish in the small pond syndrome,
Yes.
you come out
Yeah.
here and everybody's bad.
Yeah, everybody.
You gotta step your game up.
You
to
really
the
do.
next level, and that'll make you or break you.
Yeah. You say you came from Seattle.
I came from Seattle. We like I said, Jimi Hendrix was from Seattle. Quincy Jones was from Seattle. But Jimi Hendrix is. We said, we're gonna go and be big like Jimmy. You know. But Jimmy's Jimmy.
Remember he was
Yeah,
Jimmy.
Jimmy was Jimmy.
Jimmy was
And-
bad.
But you were good in your own right. You
Oh,
just wasn't
no.
Jimmy's
Yeah.
success.
And that's
Yeah.
now that's a good point because another good friend of mine, a bass player, a friend of mine, Tony Delgado, he told me, Earl, you might as well be yourself because everyone else is taken.
that ooh.
Wow.
Now that's deep.
Yeah.
I'm
Look
like,
at that.
Say that again.
oh yeah,
That is
Yeah.
seriously.
yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Everyone else is taken.
taken. Yeah.
And then you sit back and you look at these guys that
Right.
paved the way, being who they are,
Mm.
and you're copying them.
Right.
You just have to have the courage and the intestinal fortitude to be who you are.
And
Yeah.
And you
you
see,
do.
that's so real. I thank you for saying that because each one of our shows, we keep reiterating. Know who you are in the business. One of the, no, create your own lane. Just make sure the you in you is really you.
Yeah.
It's
All
really
right.
important in this entertainment business.
We have a caller.
Okay.
Hello. Thank you for calling
Hi.
Recovery Switch. How are you?
Is this the radio show? The
Yes, Recovery Switch. Yes. Who are we
I
speaking
should
with?
probably get away from my computer because I can hear myself
Oh, okay.
echoing.
We can hear you.
Turn down your computer.
Okay. Maybe this is better. Okay, I wanted to ask a question
Sure.
for Mr. Espy.
Okay.
Is he listening now?
What's your name?
My name is Debbie,
Okay.
and I'm sitting here with Jenny. We're from Culver City, and we are listening in, and we're really enjoying your show.
Great.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask Earl, what kind of advice would he give to these young musicians that are out there today? When I was growing up, I had the privilege of being with parents that loved to listen to Ella Fitzgerald and
Absolutely.
Duke Ellington. I'm a
Yeah.
child of the 70s.
Yes,
Mm.
girl.
My
Yes.
Say
parents,
that.
exposed me and my sister to various types of music, orchestration, opera, all types of music, and Quincy Jones back in the day, 70s.
Oh, yeah.
So I was wondering, some of that is really missing from the music that a lot of the young people are bringing to us today. And I was wondering what type of advice would he give to these musicians to try to maybe expose them and open them up to some of the various genres that are out there that are kind of lacking, that I think would really enrich the music today. What would you give to them?
That's a heavy question.
I'll open it up for everybody,
Yeah.
but you first, Mr.
Well,
S.
you're just wonderful. Thank you. I think that to get the roots, just like some of those names you were mentioning, like Quincy Jones and Duke and all of those people, I think it's good to have that to know where everything came from, and to be able to know your musical roots. To know from whence it came, who started this, where did this derive from, where did the R&B, where did the pop, where did the rock and roll, where did it come from?
Yes.
It's just like your knowledge of anything. You need to know where it started,
The history,
Where it
yeah.
originated.
history, and
Yes.
who was the major person in a certain genre, and also to know music, to learn music. When we first set sail out of Seattle, we were so talented that you couldn't convince me to sit down and learn music because I could play it naturally, which was, I think, was a big mistake on my part. And I would
Really?
advise, absolutely, I would advise, even in the Bible, it says, "In all things get an understanding."
That's true.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That you can't refute that.
Yes.
No.
In all things get it. Know every aspect of it. To this day, I'm learning more and more about music all the time. Which and at the times that we were coming up, music was in the school. It was free.
Oh,
Yes.
From what I
so
understand, I
Yes.
understand, it's not in there anymore.
Yeah.
No.
They're
They've
taking
taken
it
it away.
out
That's
unless it's a
gone.
performing arts school.
You see.
Yeah.
And I
Sad.
didn't take advantage. I would say to take advantage of every aspect of learning music that you can. Not just the feel and all that, but the technical aspect of it, even the business aspect of it. Because one thing that I found out through the years is you pay for what you don't know.
Wow.
That's
true.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Thank
you're
you
just
very
so
much.
very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for that question, because
That's a good
that's a
question.
good question.
And thank you for
Good,
calling
good.
in.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm going to keep listening and
Good.
visit you again sometime.
Thank you,
Great.
thank you, Debbie.
so
Take
much.
care.
All right.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
it's real, because you like I said, I tell people to learn the business. You
Absolutely.
have to learn it, because every one of the people who have been in the business have gotten record deals,
Yeah.
have been, used, abused, spit out, and thrown out, and and if you don't own your own writings, your own publishing, your own masters, your own intellectual property, you are not going to be anything that is going to bring you money to a long period of time. You have to own. But we all know the machine, which is the record companies, will take a lot of that from you. But if you know who you are, which is really why I love
Yeah.
the social media,
Right.
because social media gives you the ability to own
It does.
and put out your music and get your fan base
you
enough
go.
that the record companies have to compromise.
Yes.
They have to come to you and compromise and let you, because without, you're doing good by yourself.
Yeah. It's,
You know?
it's important.
And if you, even if you're not getting the views and the different the following, even if you're still having a reel, you still have your music out there, you can still keep pushing, you
Yeah.
can still make yourself be seen. And back in the day, we would do street promotions and go to clubs, and
Right.
we do tours. You remember, the tour and all that, which is great. I know I hear they still do college tours, which thank God is still there, because because a lot of things are getting taken away.
Right.
True.
Because it's hard. So I love what you said. Know who you are, and know, know the business.
Yeah. You got to know that the business eats you alive.
It'll
But,
eat-
I signed, like I said, I signed with 20th, and recently I was talking to a constituent of mine, and he said, "Remember when we signed with what was that? It was a big record label," and I said, "Huh?" I had forgot that I had signed with them because nothing happened.
Oh, wow.
But we got. They asked us to do a few things. Casablanca Records.
Casablanca.
I signed
Okay.
with them also.
Oh, so
And,
you were with 20th Century and Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Casablanca was like, I forgot I'd even.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been so long
Wow.
ago.
But
Yeah.
it's not so much that it was so long. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Yeah.
And
So just
we had a couple of things that we were supposed to do, but
Yeah.
it just fell through.
wow.
It just wasn't supposed to be, and I had literally
Forgot all
forgot
about him.
all about it. Yeah.
It was such a bad deal.
Okay,
You know.
it was
It was
terrible.
a bad deal.
But
But record companies will shelf you. They will
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
push you to
they'll
the side. They'll shelf.
absolutely.
And
Yeah, they will.
some of the deals they do is actually called shelving deals, meaning they're taking you off the market.
Yeah.
So because they have a group that is
Yeah.
similar to your group,
Right.
and they will say they're giving you a deal.
Hmm.
But the deal in their mind, this is going to be a shelving deal. They will shelf your butt right up on that shelf.
absolutely right.
And because
wow.
they don't want you to compete, and especially if you're better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they used to do that a lot back in the
did.
day with the black artists and the white artists, and trying to get even if you get an artist that's on, because they used to copy a lot of black artists back in the day, the groups. But even then, they're trying and come with the little deal just to take you off the market, and it's actually
Oh.
called a shelving
Oh,
deal.
that's okay. Because I'm like, wouldn't they make more money if?
No,
you know.
You would think that.
No.
But
Yeah.
that didn't work like that.
That didn't work
but
like
you're
that.
absolutely right. That happened to a lot of groups back in the day.
Just shelf you.
Yeah, shelf you, buy you, sign you up, give you a little money,
Yeah.
and shelf you.
yeah.
Wow. And your career just not moving forward anywhere. I mean, just
behind the closed doors of
Yeah.
the machine, which is the record company,
Yeah.
they'll say, "Oh, we're gonna give them a deal. What's called? We're gonna give them a shelving deal. They'll shelf your
Wow.
butt right up on there." And because they
Didn't
don't
know
want
that.
you to compete
Right.
with their artists or even get close, because especially if you're making noise.
Right.
And you like you say, well, hey, I got two of the best artists. They're similar, but we can market them, and you would think that no. So
We have also back in the day, in the 50s when rock and roll was in its infant stages with Little Richard and all of those guys, they got burned really bad.
yeah,
Wow.
I mean, they made a lot of money for somebody, but Little Richard was fought for his money for years.
Yeah.
I think he might have finally gotten it, but he was a super talent.
Mm-hmm. He was.
A good friend of mine, her father was he wrote Rockin' Robin and Little Bitty Pretty One, and he didn't get nearly the money that, I mean, I hear that song literally at least once or twice a week, even to this day.
seriously,
Either
Yeah.
one of those songs. And
Yeah.
Rockin' Robin is pretty much Americana.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You'll hear that at every car show, everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what's played.
Yeah, and because of the lack of knowledge of knowing the business, these
There you
guys
go.
that own these record companies and stuff, they're businessmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not artists.
No.
Yeah,
They just look at you like a way to make
a property.
An opportunity.
Yeah,
property. And
yeah,
a way to make
property.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
And that's why it's good to have your own publishing companies now. It's
Very
good, to know what your royalties, your mechanical royalties, you need to know what is going on in this business. That's why Lamar said last week, remember, no, this book of music is a very important book. Because it really breaks down.
Absolutely.
You know the book.
I've heard about it.
Okay.
I need
And Kashif's book too, You remember that book?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good book that
Wow.
Kashif wrote too.
And he made a lot of waves back in. I guess that was the late 70s, 80s too.
Yeah.
when he was a big time producer. He was doing a lot, and I guess he wrote that book for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did.
And so many people had lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
That's why I say you have it at your fingertips. It may take a minute to read it, but just like you go to school for yourself.
You have to.
Learn.
Otherwise, you end up with the short.
I think
short end.
education should be looked at more as something that we need more of,
Right.
Instead of
Yeah.
it's something that's opposing to you. It's actually something that can enhance you, but we have to learn to embrace it more.
Yes.
Education.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
Education.
It doesn't matter at what
so important.
age.
It does not
No.
matter what age.
Yeah, you can still learn. And that's why I say,
No, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead, go
No,
ahead.
I say a lot
Go
of
ahead.
times when people tell me we're talking, they say, "Well, I'm grown." I'm like, "Oh," because me personally, I'm growing.
Right.
me too.
Because you turn 21, that's not, you don't stop growing. You continue to learn and continue to educate yourself. Otherwise, you will, as we would say in the music, get wiped out in the groove.
Sure will.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like, I just think some of the young up and coming artists should really take some time and really start to work with the older artists as much as because they have knowledge and experience. And then the older artists working with the news, like you're telling me, they have learned some techniques and abilities that are out of this world. So work together, but nobody's obsolete. Nobody's, less than the other in that sense. We both are. I mean, he has educated me. There's some great musicians. And it's true because I am in the church and I do see some phenomenal
Oh my goodness.
phenomenal artists coming out of the church.
Phenomenal.
All the time.
And they're just natural.
They're great.
And they're just doing everybody. And it's just like, are you human?
Yeah,
I know.
Are you human? One time I saw this guy play what is a certain type of organ. I forgot what it's called now. But that organ, that boy, I was
Yeah.
like on YouTube and I was watching, I was like,
That's right. There you go.
my mouth just
I'm
dropped.
telling you.
Yeah.
These guys are phenomenal. They get they get the old and the new, and they just
Yeah.
keep going. And with that being said, you can buy recording equipment that is good enough radio quality. You can do it right in your living room. Back in the day, we would save up and go in the recording studio, but you can do it right in your house.
And they're doing it.
Yeah. And you can actually, if someone's in another state, you can do a part and then email them your part and put it together.
You sure can.
And it works. I mean, it's a different world, and you can do you don't really need the big record companies anymore, and they're really not signing people like they used to.
Yeah.
Because you can do it all yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Social media's really torn them up.
Oh,
YouTube.
As a matter of fact, I had this conversation with another friend of mine that once you put a record out there, you're gonna make you might make a little money selling it, but once it gets out there, it's free.
Right.
Because people will snatch it off. You're gonna make your money on tours.
That's it. That's the only place they're making their money now. As tours.
That's the difference between the old and the new.
And the new.
Yeah.
Right.
The old, you can make millions and millions selling records, and the new, you might, but I mean, the record. Remember when they closed all the record stores?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tower Records.
Tower Records.
That used to be
That
a
was it.
social event. I said, well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
it
I'm going to go
was.
hang around at Towers.
Remember
Records.
that?
Yeah.
In
Absolutely.
Hollywood.
All the
It was
musicians were
cool.
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was a good place. It was
Those
a good
days.
time.
Yeah.
You know.
That's over.
That's over.
It's sad.
The club's over and Tower Records is
Yeah.
over. Once Tower Records left, that was it.
That was
Yeah.
I mean, you could go in Tower and find music that from other parts of the world. It would be.
But you know, you ever gone to Amoeba? It kind of has a slight feel like Tower Records.
Amoeba is great.
I kind of like
I
it.
like Amoeba.
I like Amoeba,
like it
man.
too.
Yeah, because you can get that whole feel and that international feel.
I found my record up there. I said, "Oh, all right, hey."
All right,
It was
Amoeba.
hard. Yeah.
Well, Earl, I thank
right,
you for
yes.
coming and telling us, sharing with us your story.
Yeah.
You
thank
know, the Recovery Switch here is about empowering other people, helping each other. We have our opinions. We express our opinions, but we're here to help you to move forward. Like he said, learn as much as you can. Teach, you know, and share with each other. Yeah. But learn the business. And that's the main thing. We're here to help you. But again, thank you for coming to the Recovery Switch tonight. Next week, join us again at 8 o'clock. And it has been a blessed time. Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Chuck.
Yes. Thank you.
And you guys have a God bless, a wonderful night. Take care.
God bless. Take care, everybody.
Take care.
You're listening to The Recovery Switch, where victory lives, with Nicole Elizabeth Squires, only on LA Talk Radio.